Hi everyone, we're going to find the partial fraction decomposition of this problem. Has repeated irreducible quadratic factors. So I set it up like this, the ax plus b, and then we had the cx plus d, and then I had to square it, and ex plus f. We got to get all the possible combinations that it could be to get our least common denominator, which is, this is your least common denominator here. Alright, so basically I want to clear the fractions by multiplying by my least common denominator. So this cancels, and we get x cubed equals, then we have ax plus b. One of these cancels, but we're left with x squared plus 16 squared. And then two of these cancel, so we have cx plus d. And that's going to be times x squared plus 16. And then this whole thing cancels out because that's the cube one. So we're just left with ex plus f. Now, I'm going to go ahead and expand that. So we get x cubed equals ax plus b. And you can use your a squared plus b, well, you can use your a plus b formula. Just do this mentally, and you get x to the fourth, and then 2 times those two. That's going to be plus 32 x squared, and then plus 16 squared is 256. Alright, then we have plus cx plus d, and we're going to distribute here. Let's just go ahead and distribute. So that one you're going to do, let's just write it out. Plus, if you write it all out, you're going to get cx cubed plus, and I want to do the d next, dx squared. Then I have 16cx. And then I have the 16d. Plus we have our plus ex plus f. Now I'm going to straighten it up on the other one. So finally, when you clean all this up, and we're going to distribute my a here and my b, you're going to get x cubed equals a x to the fifth plus bx to the fourth plus 32ax cubed plus 32bx squared plus 256ax. Let me move this over because we got a lot. Plus, let's put the plus here, 256ax plus 256b plus cx cubed plus dx squared. Alright, and then this is a long one, 16cx plus 16d, we already had that part, plus ex plus f. Now what we want to do is group our like terms together. And we have like these two cubes here. We have a bunch of squares. So basically what you're going to get is, when you group it together, you're going to get a x to the fifth plus b x to the fourth plus, now group my cubes together. That's going to give me 32a plus c x cubed, and then group my squares together. How many of those? We just have 2. So we have plus 32b plus dx squared, and then group my x's together. My x's are here. Let's see, have an x there, 1 here. We have 3 of them. So that's going to be plus 256a plus 16c plus e to the x power, and then your constants. And your constants have no x's in them, so that's going to be plus 256b plus 16d plus f. Alright, now if you look at this, on this side we have this x cubed. So if you want, you can write this as, and I'm going to try to squeeze it in here, so we have 0x to the 5th plus 0x to the 4th plus 1x cubed. Everything else is 0, plus 0x squared plus 0x plus 0. Okay, for the last term. That would be x to the 0. But x to the 0 is just 1, so we don't tend to write that. Alright, and we're going to do like terms. So if you look at this, on the x to the 5th, that's your a, and so your a matches the 0. So your a equals 0. Same thing with x to the 4th. Group those two, so we have b equals 0. So your a and b is 0. Now we get into the last ones. We have x cubes here, and this is a 1 in front. So what we have is 32a plus c equals 1. And then for this one, I'm going to squeeze this in. The x squared is 0. There's a 0 here. So we're going to set this part up to be 32b plus d equals 0. And for this part, we keep moving on. So I'm going to have to go on the next page. So let's look what we have. We have, first of all, we have a equals 0, b equals 0. Then we had 32a plus c equals 1. We also had 32b plus, everything else is to the 0 power. We had 256a plus 15c equals 0. We also had 256b plus 16d plus f equals 0. And then we also know that f equals 0 from the previous page. So all we're going to do now is substitute. So when we look at this one, my a is 0. So when you plug in 0, you're going to get 32 times 0 plus c equals 1. So therefore, c just equals 1. You kind of do these in your head a little bit. Now this one, my b is 0. So 32 times 0 is 0, so we get d equals what? 0. And for this one, my a is 0. So that knocks that out. My c is 1. So we're going to get 16c equals 0, but c is 1. So we get 16 equals 0. So basically our c is going to equal 1. We already have that. So we already had that one. We didn't need to do that one because we already had that. Alright, so now we have to do this one. We have our b is 0, and our d is 0, and our f is 0. So we got d, e. Where's my e? So basically the e, I didn't do that one. Okay, so your e is 256a plus 16c plus e equals 0. So when you plug in a, you get 0, so that knocks that out. You get c is 1, so you get 16 plus e equals 0. Therefore, e equals negative 16. So e equals negative 16, and f we know is 0. So basically, we only have two values here with numbers, which is c and e. And then when you write it out, you're just going to write x cubed, x squared plus 16 cubed, and I'll go ahead and write this out again. You have ax plus b over x squared plus 16 plus bx plus c over x squared plus 16 squared. Then we had plus ex plus f, and this is squared here. Now just plug in everything you have. My a was 0 and my b was 0, so 0 or anything, that just is going to go away. My b was 1 and my c was 0, so we're just going to have 1 x. 1 times x is just x. So we're going to have x over x squared plus 16 squared plus my e was negative 16 and my f was 0. So you're going to get negative 16x plus 0. We don't need to put the plus 0. And that's going to be x squared plus 16 cubed. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.